Welcome to another Stamp with Amy K YouTube Live, and today I'm going to show you how I made a card with the sweet little Beary Cute stamp set from Stampin' Up, as well as some of the A Walk in the Forest Designer Series paper. These are both little items in the current mini catalog, and yeah, I don't know, like I said, just a cute little stamp set, and love that this coordinates, the Designer Series paper coordinates with the Merriest Wishes dies from the catalog as well. All right, so we are going to be, like I said, we're just going to be making this card. It's a pretty quick and easy one, so hopefully I won't keep you too long today, since it is Friday afternoon after all. And I don't know about you, but we got a bunch of rain coming through our area right now. So yeah, hopefully we won't have any weather that's too crazy. So all right, got the Beary Cute stamp set. Hey, Paula and Pam and Karen, thanks for hopping in today. I appreciate you being here. So this is the Beary Cute stamp set. It is photopolymer, so it's see-through, so it's easy to stamp with. There is, hey Heather, thanks for joining. There is actually a punch that coordinates with this little bear here. I didn't use that today, but it is available. And the punch actually works with the same Designer Series paper too, and I'll show you that in 1 second as well. So hey Connie and Mary Ellen and Mary and Melinda, glad y'all are here today. So that's the stamp set. Like I said, very cute. It is very cute. Okay, I know, kind of cheesy. So a couple other things that I used on this. I did use the Stylish Shapes dies. I used this one, the little circle die here, for my sentiment. So Stylish Shapes dies from the annual catalog. And then I also used the Merriest Trees dies, and these are from the mini catalog. There is a stamp set, again, that coordinates with this. But of course, I didn't use that today because, you know, why would I do that? That'd be too easy. So, hey, Alana and Cindy and Susan and Joanna, thanks for hopping in. Appreciate you guys being here. So, so again, this is the die set that I used for most of the die cutting on the card front. Just did the sentiment with the Stylish Shapes. All right, set that aside for a second. A couple things to talk about before we get going. We have got a joining special Stampin' Up! Is doing during the month of October. From if you join between the 3rd and the 31st, they have a really good deal. You get your choice of two options. You can either A, pick 35% off the price of the kit, or B, you can get 35% additional product in your kit. So either way is an awesome deal. So if you want the 35% off, it lowers the price of the starter kit down to $64.35. You still get to pick $125 worth of Stampin' Up! Merchandise in your kit, and it ships for free. You also get your business goodies, and then you can decide what you want to do with that. You can just use the discount for yourself. You get at least a 20% discount on everything that you order. It's a really great deal. You get to be a part of our little group, get to be a part of Stampin' Up! And all sorts of good things like that. So, hey, Susie, and I see Robin is here as well. So then I've got option 2 listed out here. And option 2, you actually get, again, pay $99 for your starter kit. It ships for free, and you get to pick $168.75 worth of merchandise in your starter kit. So if you're not currently a demonstrator, October is going to be a great time to join. In addition to that, you're also going to get a free event from Stampin' Up! They have what they call their Onstage at Home event. So it's an online event at home, and they're usually lots and lots of fun. There's some stamping. You get to see new product. You can order ahead of time. So all sorts of fun things that happen there. It's on November 11th, and they are going to give you a registration for that for free. So you get either the discounted starter kit price or more stuff in your starter kit for free, and you get a $77 value registration for the event that's coming up. So if you have questions or interested in joining, please let me know. I'd be happy to have you come join our team. We're a very relaxed group of people, just love Stampin' Up!, love stamping, no pressure to do any sort of sales or anything like that. Just buy from yourself and be happy. So, hey, Julie and Danette, thanks for joining. Couple of other reminders. Stampin' Up! Did release some new Designer Series papers as a special release, and they are in the online exclusive section of the online store. So if you go out to the stampinup.com and then click on the little menu button on the upper left, you'll see one of the items underneath there says online exclusives. If you click on that, it'll bring you over to where all this pretty paper is. There are 5 new packs of paper, some specialty papers, foils, floral paper, an adhesive back glimmer paper. We've got Traditions of St. Nick paper, which coordinates with one of the die sets in the mini catalog, the St. Nicholas ones. And then we have Shining Christmas Designer Series paper, which is a beautiful pack as well. World Card Making Day is coming up on October 7th, which is already next weekend. I don't even believe that we're already almost to October. Yikes. So that is next weekend. Our team is hosting an event that'll be starting around 9 o'clock in the morning and running kind of all day until evening time frame, Eastern time. So we'll be doing card making presentations all day. We'll have some fun little giveaways. And yeah, so it should be a good time. We've done this event for the past couple of years and everyone's really enjoyed it. We'll be setting up a Facebook page that you can come over and join, and I'll let everybody know when the Facebook page is live. So keep an eye on my social media sites, and I'll let you know here too. Obviously next week, Friday, it'll be up and running. So I'll remind you to go take a look at it then and join, come hang out with us for World Card Making Day. Stampin' Up! Is also doing a World Card Making Day event. Theirs runs from 2 until 5 Mountain Time, so you have to convert that to whatever time zone you're in. They're going to be making 3 cards with these 3 bundles. The Heartfelt Hexagon is a new bundle that you can order. It's an early release from the January to April 2024 mini catalog, so all sorts of exciting stuff happening. World Card Making Day, October 7th, so put it on your calendar. And yeah, that's it. Okay. Enough yakking. Let's get busy and doing some stamping. So let me know if you have questions about any of that. Details are on my blog, which is stampwithamyk.com, so you can go take a peek and find out more information about any of that stuff. All right. So I started out, did I cut that right? I think I did. For a second, I thought I was going to call it Calypso Coral. The cherry cobbler panel was way too big, but it's not. All right. So this is from the A Walk in the Forest Designer Series paper, and it is right up at the front of the mini catalog, so don't miss it. It's on like page 3 or something like that. So this is, for every pack of this that you purchase from Stampin' Up!, they are going to donate $3 to Toys for Tots here in the U.S. There are different organizations elsewhere in the world that they will donate to, but here in the U.S., they'll donate $3 for every pack of paper that they sell during the mini catalog to Toys for Tots for, to buy some Christmas presents and make some kids happy for the holidays. So this piece of Designer Series paper is cut to about 3 7/8 by 5 1/8, and I'm adhering it to a cherry cobbler panel that is cut to about 4 inches by 5 1/4. Again, all the details will be on my blog tomorrow, which is stampwithamyk.com. I will link up to the blog post in the description of this video once it goes live around 8 o'clock in the morning Eastern time on Saturday. So no need to worry about writing everything down. You can just come back and take a look tomorrow, and you'll be able to find all the details. So I am adhering this to a Pretty Peacock card base with Stampin' Dimensionals. I prefer the top fold card bases, which is 4 1/4 by 11 and scored at 5 1/2 across the top. This design that I'm doing today, if you prefer the book fold, which is 5 1/2 by 8 1/2 and scored in the center down at 4 1/4 down the side of the card, the book fold card, kind of standard card base. This design will work with either one of those. I just prefer the top fold, so that's why I make mine this way, but you can pick whichever one you want when you make your card. All right, so there we go. Got that adhered together. The next thing we get to do is some chopping up of Designer Series paper. So this is from the A Walk in the Forest Designer Series paper. And yes, this little bear does match with the bear punch that is bundled with the Beary Cute stamp set. So you can use your punch on that. So as you can see, I have tried, you can see my crazy cutting. I've tried to salvage as many of the little bears and trees that I can die cut with this as possible. So that's why I kind of have it cut up strangely, and I'm going to show you even more strange cutting on it as we go through this process today. So I need to get to this tree because this is the tree I'm going to put on my card front. I want to be aware of this little bear here because I can still use him with the punch. So I want to make sure that I'm kind of trimming around the little bear. I want to stay away from this tree because this one you can die cut, as well as this one. So I'm just going to kind of chop in from the side and kind of, like I said, try to give everything a little bit of space around it so I can still use those pieces later on different projects. So there we go. And we'll just chop down this way, I think. All right, so I've got my tree that this is not how it's going to look. I'm going to die cut it, don't worry. And then I'm going to grab the tag die from the Merriest Trees dies. And again, I'm just going to try to be careful where I chop this paper up at, because I want to try to salvage that bear and this tree, because I know I can die cut the tree and punch out the bear. So I'm going to try to trim my tag piece from the edge of this so that I miss both of those. So that's why I've kind of laid the tag on top of here. So I have a little bit of a guide as to where I should chop and where I should try to stay away from. And I think we'll go right over, like that. Hopefully, I didn't cut it too small. All right, looks like I made it. Whew, okay, so this is actually what I cut my tag from as well. So I, again, had to just kind of do some creative chopping to try to save as many of the images that I could use as possible. So, all right, so I have got this one I'm going to die cut with the tag. And then this one I'm going to die cut with this tree die. So the cool thing about this die set is that there are all different sizes of trees in here. So there's, this one is the biggest, obviously, this one's the second. And then we got that one that's the third, fourth, and then finally the smallest kind of little treetop. So you can do stamping and die cutting of all of these, you know, basically stamp the tree out like 5 times and die cut it all up, and then, you know, basically have like a kind of a layered up tree. You can do like I'm doing and just cut the designer series paper with it. You can stamp it once and die cut. So it's really an awesome stamp set bundle, the Merriest Trees. So go take a look at it if you haven't seen that too. All right, let me stop yakking and go do some die cutting. So I'll be off screen for just 1 second. And I see Amanda is here as well as Barbara. Thanks for joining today. If I can get it lined up. All right, there's my little die cut tree. And then here's my die cut tag. So I'll set these aside and put them back over here on my die sheet before I lose track of them. And again, anything I can do to avoid fussy cutting, I will definitely do. So I do love that you can die cut the trees really easily with the dies rather than having to actually, you know, fussy cut all that mess. All right, so now I'm going to take a little bit of Stampin' Seal and I'm going to adhere this tree to the tag. I'm going to be a little careful and just make sure that I only put it to the what will be the right side of the tree, because the left side's going to hang off just a hair from the edge or off the edge of the tag, and I just want to make sure that I don't end up with it stuck down and stuck to my paper and whatever, stuck down strangely. So there we go. All right, so we've got that. Then I'm going to grab my card base again, and we're going to go over here and stick this on with some Stampin' Dimensionals. All right. And again, I chop my Stampin' Dimensionals in half, so if you prefer the whole ones, you can use the whole ones. If you prefer the minis, you can use the minis. So that's the bonus about Stampin', is you get to do what you want with it. So, hey, Susan from Cloudy Green Bay. Yep, you got a heat wave coming tomorrow? Oh my gosh. Well, lucky you, I guess. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if you want the heat wave or not. It's getting kind of late in the year for heat waves. So, all right. Oh, yep. That's actually, yes. I love that you can chop the paper up like that. I try on these bigger ones to not cut it in half in the middle if I can possibly avoid it, just because it is nice to be able to, you know, chop up as many of the images as you can get. All right, so we've got that done. Let me set that aside, and I'll show you one more little die cutting thing here. These look a little strange when you see them in the catalog, but these are actually designed to be little pieces of garland that run across your trees. So it's really easy to die cut these. I've just got a little piece of cherry cobbler cardstock. This is, I don't know, about 1.25 inches is what I have it. And then I have got a piece of adhesive sheets. Now again, if you like liquid glue better than the adhesive sheets and are more daring than I am and don't glue yourself to the projects like I do, you can certainly use the liquid glue with it. I prefer the adhesive sheets just because it's a lot cleaner for me, and I don't end up glued to my project most of the time. So, all right. So I'm going to grab my little garland die. And again, you're going to note that this is not going to go all the way across on every single die cut, but that is perfectly fine because it actually, it doesn't need to. You just need to have kind of the main section in the middle glued down with these, and they will stick perfectly to your card front. So the adhesive sheets come in a 6x12 when they start. And then I just chop mine up usually into kind of rows or strips, however big that I need. And the sheets actually are, so it's 12 inches long, 6 inches wide, and then each of these is divided into 2-inch sections. So it makes it a lot easier for sticking it down and getting pieces that are a more reasonable size to deal with, because if you tried to peel the whole sheet off, you'd have it stuck to yourself and everything else. All right, so I'm going to go run these through the die cutting machine. And we're supposed to have a heat wave here this weekend. Was it supposed to get up to like 80 again? I guess I had not heard that. Perhaps I need to pay more attention to the weather. I actually just kind of realized that it was supposed to rain today when I got up this morning and it was raining. So, all right. So I just grabbed my paper snips, or if you have your take your pick tool with the little brush end on it, that will work as well. You can just pop these right out of your die cut. All right, let me get that put away before I lose track of that. All right, so this cuts the 5 different pieces, 5 little pieces of garland. The longest one we actually don't need for our card because it's, well, I mean, you could use it if you wanted to, but it's a little bit long for what we need. Plus it would be, I don't know, I think too many. So I just am going to take the 4. There we go. There's the 4th one. And I'm going to start with the longest one here, and I'm going to grab my paper snips. This is the only thing that's a little fiddly about your adhesive sheets, but if you have the take your pick tool or a snips like I did, something that's pointy and sharp, you can get it to peel up pretty quickly and easily. And just peel the adhesive backing right off of the die cut, and we'll stick that one down. Oh, low 80s here? My goodness, apparently I need to pay more attention to the weather. And I need to make sure I make a note of that so, I send the kids out in something that's not a big, thick sweatshirt, because they've been wearing big, thick sweatshirts for the last couple days here because it's been cold. All right, so got the backing. We're going to peel off the 3rd smallest, I don't know, middle one, whatever you want to call it. And we're just going to stick that, kind of angle it across the tree here. Stick it up there. And then we've got the 2nd smallest one here. And again, just going to do the same thing where I just pick the end of it with my paper snips, or your take your pick tool. A little pointy end on it works great too. But for some reason, I can't ever seem to remember to grab that. And usually I have my snips handy. So yeah, with the adhesive sheets, I really do like them for this kind of thing because like I said, I just make such a mess with liquid glue, and I would have my fingers stuck to the card, and my fingers would be stuck to the garland, and then the garland would not be stuck to the card because they'd be stuck to my fingers. So that is what I always wrestle with the liquid glue. So that's why I tend to lean towards getting adhesive sheets, even though they're kind of, like I said, they can be kind of a pain just to get them started and peeled off, but I find them in general much easier to use than the liquid glue is. All right. Whoop. Wiggle that around just a little and try to get it in. There we go. All right. Then once you get them all on, just make sure you smush them down well so that they stay stuck to your tree. So, all right. Next up, I have got, here we go, a little bit of ribbon. And this is the Real Red and Garden Green 3/8" ribbon combo pack ribbon. So it's a pretty ribbon, lightweight ribbon, and actually really easy to tie bows with. So that's one of the things that I like in ribbon. So when I do my bows, I start with the little rabbit ear. So I do 2 loops, cross them over each other, tuck one inside the other, and then pull it like you would your shoes. So depending on how you learned how to tie your shoes, some people actually, that's not the way I was taught to tie my shoes, but I do know that people do learn to tie their shoes that way. So you may not find it strange to tie bows like that at all. I had to relearn how to do it when I became a card maker because I was used to tying them a different way. So All right, there we go. I do find that tying bows like this does give me a little bit of, I can pull on either end of it, make it shorter, longer, that sort of thing when I've tied the bow this way. So I find them a little easier to deal with, a little easier to manage when I'm sticking it on a card front. So, all right. Then I've got some mini glue dots, and I'm actually going to take them and stick them on either side of the hole here at the top. I'd thought about trying to tie the ribbon through the hole on the top of the tag. I don't know. Sometimes I can't get it tied straight if I've pulled it through and whatever. So this is my cheater method of sticking or making it look like I've tied the bow with the tag when I really have not. I've just tied it and then stuck it on. So I'm going to take glue dots, stick them on either side of the hole. And then I guess I can cut this off. Oh, Karen, look away because I forgot my ribbon scissors. Don't tell her. She hates it when I do this, but there we go. Look away, nothing to see here, Karen. All right, so there we go. We will stick that on right over the top of the glue dots. So, oh shoot, Karen, look away, nothing to see here. All right, so there we go. We got our mostly done card front here. Next up is stamping the sentiment. So I've got a piece of basic white, again, just a little scrap that I'd already chopped something off the top of. Basic white cardstock, cherry cobbler ink, and then the sentiment from the Beary Cute stamp set. And I'm just gonna stamp it in cherry cobbler ink on the basic white panel. There we go. Close that up before I stick my fingers in it, and then I'm going to grab my Stylish Shapes dies, and I'm going to take this one, which is the third one from the smallest of the circle dies, and I'm just going to run it through the die cutting machine, so I'll be right back. All right, there's my little die cut sentiment. Then I'm going to grab a couple more of my Stampin' Dimensionals, and I'm going to try to be careful where I place them and make sure that I put them over here to the left, or to the right-hand side, my other right, to the right-hand side of the die cut, because it's going to be stuck on the edge of the tag. So I want to make sure that I don't put Stampin' Dimensionals under here and then have a kind of a crooked-looking, crazy sentiment. So the adhesive sheets are pretty awesome, Elena. They're one of my favorite things, and I sometimes forget to pull them out, and every time I do, then I'm very sad that I've forgotten to pull them out because I usually end up gluing myself to the project. And yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I just don't love liquid glue. So, all right, so I got my Stampin' Dimensionals, put a little Stampin' Seal or glue dot or whatever, a little bit of adhesive, flat adhesive over on the other side of it. And then we're just gonna stick that to the tag right over here. And then the last thing on the card front is some of the adhesive-backed snowflake assortment. These are online exclusive items, so you will only find these in the online store under the online exclusive section of the store. So again, when you go to find these, go to stampinup.com and then go to the menu at the top left, and then look for the online exclusives underneath that, and you will see these pretty little snowflakes. Anything that is an online exclusive is available while supplies last. Some of the items restock, some of them do not. So just be aware of that. If it's something you want and you see it in the online exclusives, definitely go get it so you don't miss out. All right, so I'm just sticking one of each size. There are 3 sizes on here. So there's the biggest one, the medium, and then the smaller one. And I picked the gold. If you like the white better, you can use those, or there's copper. So whatever color you want to use, you can use. So that's it for the card front. Quick and easy. On the inside of the card, also kept it pretty quick and easy. I've got a piece of basic white cardstock. This is cut to about 4 by 5 1/4. And then I've got my cherry cobbler ink. And then the Merry Christmas sentiment, again from the Beary Cute stamp set. And we will stamp this, hopefully kind of straight here, on the piece of basic white cardstock. And then I'm going to close that up again because a cherry cobbler is one of those inks that has a way of ending up all over if I don't. Going to add a little bit of the A Walk in the Forest Designer Series paper. Just a little strip that I had trimmed away when I was making the card front. This one's about, I don't know, probably 3/4 of an inch or so wide. And it's about 6 inches long. But I leave it a little long because it's easier to trim it off than it is to try to add on. So if I've mismeasured anything, I don't have to have it exactly. I can just stick it on here, chop off the edge, and then we're all set. All right, gonna stick this to the inside of my card with some Stampin' Seal. And we're gonna be all done. All right, get that stuck in. Gonna grab the bone folder, close it up, do a little crease across the top, and there you go. So that's it. Super quick and easy. Like I said, just a fun little holiday card. Hopefully you'll like it. I love the A Walk in the Forest Designer Series paper, and I really love that $3 of each pack is going towards Toys for Tots. That's always a fun little thing. When you get to purchase something and have a little extra benefit to kids. Yeah, anyway, all good. So, all right, so there we go. That's it for today. I appreciate you being here. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend. I will plan to see you again live around 2 o'clock Eastern Time on Tuesday, and then again around 2 o'clock Eastern Time next week, Friday. Glad you're liking the card, Pam. Thanks so much, and thanks, Heather, and thanks, Robin, for being here. So I appreciate you all joining. Have a great weekend, and we will chat with you all soon.